captain's log. We are fast approaching the end of the particle trail, and we shall see if the legend of this planet is true or false.
We are on final approach, ready to drop out of warp.
Understood. Take us out of warp, Mr. Ferrell.
Aye, Captain.
I would say that this legend is exactly what it is. A legend. The only problem is,
where did the particle trail come from? It's more than likely that the particle trail ran out and the planet continued on.
What was that?
What was what, Lieutenant?
For just a second, there was some kind of ripple, a distortion. At least I thought I did. It's hard to tell with the lack of stars.
I can confirm the lieutenant's observation. There was a momentary subspace distortion.
Commander. Ready a probe with a full sensor pack and launch when ready.
Aye, Captain. Probe away.
Bring up its telemetry on the main view screen.
The probe is now 10 seconds away from the distortion field. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Contact.
A cloaking device? A cloaked planet? The power requirements to power such a device must be astronomical.
According to the probe's sensors, what we are looking at is a section of a space station. A very large space station.
Can we disrupt the cloaking field?
Now that the probe is within the field, I should be able to. The field has been severely weakened after continuously running for centuries. All it will take is a simple ion burst. But this will drain the probe's power core, and it will no longer be operational.
Proceed, Commander.
Initiating ion burst. Now. Not just a space station. A space dock.
Captain's log. We found the legendary lost planet. But like all legends, the truth can be exaggerated. Our planet was a cloaked space station, a very large space station. The size is comparable to a Fesarius vessel of the First Federation. I can't help but feel an unease and dread when I look upon it. Something about this doesn't feel right. Eve, initiate a full scan. I want to know what we are letting ourselves into.
Beginning scan.
Well, what do we have here? Is that our so-called wayward planet?
That it is.
My God, that is a big station.
Captain, I have completed my scans of the station.
What are your findings?
Inconclusive. The composition of the station's hull is impervious to our sensors. All it can tell us is that most of the bays are occupied by what I can only presume to be vessels. And they are 3 times larger than the Defiant, if not more.
Not much in a way of lighting. You think it's safe for us to take the Defiant in closer to one of the occupied bays? Maybe we can shine a little light in there.
Captain, I suggest we also launch a couple of surveying drones to help light things up.
Good idea, Eve. Launch the drones and take control of both. Mr. Ferrell, take us above the structure so we can do a sweep of the top side, and then let's make our way over to the occupied bays to see what is in there. Is that what I think it is? Red alert!
Dear Lord.
This is why we are here. The fake distress signal, the rift, the info to ride out the rift, Eve's new algorithms, Varen, finding the shuttle and finding the Commodore within. It all leads us to this point.
And you'll be correct, Captain, because if we don't stop these things from launching, then all life in our galaxy that we know will no longer exist.
Captain's log. We have discovered a behemoth of a space station with equally large docking bays, occupied by doomsday machines, a threat from our past and Commodore Decker's tormentor. It seems that we have discovered the source of that faithful first encounter of these planet killers. Now we have an unannounced guest on our bridge, an elderly female Vulcan, and she seems to be wearing a strange variant of a Starfleet uniform. Who are you, and how did you get on board my ship?
My dear Captain, please know that I mean you no harm. I am here to help. I have every intention of revealing who I am to you. You may find it difficult to believe me, and there is only one way I can convince you.
Remain where you are, or we will be forced to detain you.
Rasar, you are as beautiful as I remember you.
Raysar, do you know this woman?
I assure you, Captain, I do not know this woman. However, there is something vaguely familiar about you.
Captain, allow me to open my mind to La Pole. The answers you are looking for are there.
Captain, I also feel there is something familiar about this woman. I also believe she is being sincere. I will perform the mind meld if you allow it. My mind to your mind. My thoughts to your thoughts. Our minds are one.
Mommy, Daddy! Look who is here! Can I go say hi?
Yes, sweetheart, but go easy on them.
Torpedoes away!
Incoming!
Shields up!
Wait, this is when we had a gathering to say goodbye to my daughter before we left for our current mission. I haven't opened this memory to you yet, so how is it possible for you to see it?
This memory is indeed yours, but it is also mine. I have taken you to one of my early childhood memories.
Childhood memories? I don't understand. You were there?
Yes, I was. For you, it was a few weeks ago. For me, it was well over a century ago.
You are Isabella. You are my daughter.
Yes, Mother.
Why is this memory so vivid in your mind?
At the end of that day, I went back home with grandmother and grandfather. You returned to the Defiant. It was the last time I would see you both alive.
The rift. We weren't supposed to survive the rift.
You would not have survived without our intervention.
Captain, does any of this make sense to you?
It's the only explanation that makes sense, Lieutenant.
Yes, this is Isabella. It is obvious to me now.
How devastating it must have been for you to lose us at such a young age.
Yes, another memory that is firmly planted in my mind is the day when Starfleet officers came to our house to tell us you would not be coming back home. I was so lucky to have Grandma and Grandpa. They stepped in at the time I needed them the most. My way of grieving was to sit out at night and look up at the sky for hours. I imagined you were still out there among the stars. Somehow that helped soothe me. Sometimes I was joined by Grandpa. Sometimes it was Grandma. Sometimes it was both. Looking up at the Milky Way, I never doubted that someday I would follow in your footsteps and join Starfleet. Before signing up for Starfleet Academy, I decided to accept the numerous invitations from my Vulcan grandparents to meet your family on Vulcan. I thought that maybe I needed to get in touch with my Vulcan side. I ventured out in the harsh desert of Vulcan to attempt to find some hidden ruins in underground caves. I was told these ruins were difficult to find, and they could only be found by the most logical of Vulcans. I don't think the Vulcans were very happy to hear that I had tracked it all down using my human intuition. Ultimately, I realized that the Vulcan way of life was not for me. I returned to Earth to pursue my career in Starfleet. When I graduated from the Academy, I was assigned to the USS Mjolnir. Everyone, I have many things to discuss with you. Some of it will be difficult to hear.
Wait, before you begin, can someone please take the helm for a few minutes? I really need to hug my niece.
Personal log. Commodore Decker gave his life trying to destroy the first Doomsday machine. It was a tragic, unsuccessful sacrifice. Captain Kirk said it best as he tried to stop Decker's final desperate charge. "We are stronger with you than without you." I couldn't agree more. That's why we're attempting the impossible, rescuing the Commodore. Decker's experience will be critical to our mission, but pulling him out won't be easy. We need to open a precise rift right inside the gaping maw of the Doomsday machine. It's like snatching food from the jaws of a beast as it's about to bite. The rift must be just wide enough to extract the shuttle, no more. If we miscalculate, we risk dragging the entire Doomsday machine through. Once the shuttle is clear, we'll fire a high-yield torpedo into the rift as it collapses, faking the shuttle's destruction. That clue will be just what Kirk needs to defeat the first Doomsday machine. Next, we'll board the shuttle, subdue Decker, and perform a mind meld to erase any memory of what we've done. I did not want him remembering us being here or what we are about to do. Mr. Quinn had finished setting up the portable transporter pad ready for the next phase. He has sacrificed a lot to get us to this stage.
Everything is ready, Admiral. This pad is programmed to hold your molecules in the pattern buffers in a self-diagnostic loop. Once that is done, the pad will phase out of alignment with our universe until a certain time the shuttle is aboard the Defiant. But I don't understand why you wanted me to configure the pattern buffer in this way.
Good work, Mr. Quinn. The answer to that question is back on board the flyer. Preston to the flyer, energize.